Hey Melbourne, Rewind 80s is back. 2 dates, Skyways Airport West, Friday the 2nd of May, and the Commercial Hotel South Morang, Saturday the 10th of May. So come on down. All tickets are on rewind80smixtape.com.au or just check the notes of this podcast for all information. See you soon next weekend. Woo!
Kids are starving in Japan, so eat it, just eat it. Don't wanna argue, I don't wanna debate. Don't wanna hear about what kind of food you hate. You won't get no dessert till you clean off your plate, so eat it. Don't you tell me you're full, just eat it, eat it. Get yourself an egg and beat it. Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. Just eat it, just eat it, just eat it, just eat it. Oh! Your table manners are a crying shame. You're playing with your food, this ain't some kind of game. Now if you starve to death, you'll just have yourself to blame. So eat it, just eat it. You better listen, better do what you're told. You haven't even touched your tuna casserole. You better chow down or it's gonna get cold. So eat it. I don't care if you're full, just eat it. Eat it. Open up your mouth and feed it. Have some more yogurt.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Oh,
How's
we're
it going?
back. Hey, it's Anzac
back.
weekend.
It is. We're recording this on Anzac Day Friday. I've just been to the footy.
Yes.
But, this whole weekend we're sort of commemorating the Anzacs and their memory.
Absolutely. Did you have a good day at the football?
I did have a great day. It's a very special day for me. It's incredible because it's a sort of Collingwood-Essendon game. I'm a big Pies supporter, of course, and I go with my family and we go for all the sort of motorcade where they drive all the old Anzacs around and everything, and it's just wonderful. Like both teams as the New Zealand anthem's playing and the Australian anthem, and they do a flyover, and then we won. We won the game. So yeah, I've had a great day today. How about you?
Amazing. I just practiced today and just did things like did Cindy for
Lovely
2 hours maybe, and
rehearsing for the Cindy show.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
really good. So I'm really nailed the whole album, but which is great because it's such a good album. You don't realise until you really pull it apart and you go, wow, you know. So I'm going to bring you in. This is Jay Jovi, ladies and gentlemen.
Get away from her, you bitch!
And ladies and gentlemen, the sexy Sammy Hard-On.
Don't fuck with me, fellas! This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
It certainly isn't. Tell us about today's subject.
Right. Today's subject, we are doing an episode called Stars on 65. We're looking at people who were very prolific during the 80s and are still going now. These people would have been born in 1960. They're turning 65 this year. They would have been born
some
in
of them
1960.
are already 65, 59, 60.
Yeah, that's right.
Depends on the
beautiful.
month.
So
yeah.
Okay, cool. They would have been turning in about 1985. They would have been turning sort of 24, 25. So they would have been like at the prime of their sort of life. So we're looking at these people. There's going to be some great music this episode, but sort of some curveballs as well, like the one we opened up with Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, Weird Al Yankovic. Eat it. I love Eat It. I thought it was hilarious when it came out. I couldn't believe anyone could do
You love
such
this
a thing.
guy, don't you?
I don't love him. I don't love him, but I love what he did for the music industry. And you've got to understand the musicians that were begging for him to do their songs because they made a shitload of money from him, you know? And he made a percentage, obviously, but he was he's now 65. He's one of our first ones we're looking at, born October 23rd, 1959. So in October, he will be 65. So he's turning 65 this year. And I just think he was pretty prolific in the 80s as an artist, you know, like no one had seen this before.
No, that's right. And he was taking on big stars. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's like spoofing Michael Jackson, spoofing Madonna. And you know, they would have, I reckon they would have loved it and hated it. They would have hated
Yes.
that it was sort of like reductive in Madonna's world,
Yeah.
in Madonna's words, but that it was sort of drawing more attention to their work. You know what I mean? Michael Jackson, Madonna wouldn't have needed the extra attention, but like other stars would have loved it. You know?
I think it was mainly the record companies that encouraged it. So, and
Yeah,
when
right.
you're with a record company, you have a little bit of say, but not that much. But I think
Yeah.
my favourite thing with Eat It, which I'll never forget, is the guitar solo where the guitar solo's head blows off. Like, it's just so good. Because
That's right.
it was a great solo. It was obviously Van Halen, but it sort of, you didn't expect it. You were like, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, you know, they had the chick that gets pashed at the bar and her head comes off, and really clever sort of
Yeah.
lyrics and stuff like that. But I just thought he's worth a mention. I've done a couple of artists that we haven't done ever. You know what I mean? We've never talked about them. And I reckon we've
No,
talked
that's
about
right.
Weird Al Yankovic, but not so much that we've played a song from him. Because I said to Maddie today, have we done them as an intro? Like, have we done Weird Al? And he goes, no, I don't think we have. And it's interesting because...
Not as an intro, no.
And I think it's important to mention him because he's 65 now, you know? And these
Yeah.
people have
Incredible.
grandchildren now, you know? And we would
Yeah,
never have
yeah.
assumed that in the 80s. And the thing is, they're still doing it. And the longevity in the industry now is nowhere near like as good as this, you know?
No, that's
We're not going to be looking
no,
at
absolutely.
Tones and I and going, oh, wow, she's 65. No one's going to give a fuck. She'll be working at the TAB somewhere. You know, it's going to be a
Yeah.
different world.
Yeah.
And I just think it's good to look at because and then it also becomes nostalgic because you think to yourself, Jesus, they're 65. How old am I? You know?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that's right. I was sort of I was talking to somebody about the podcast today, and they said, you know, I was telling them all about it, and they said, oh, so it's like a nostalgia show. And I said, yeah, it is a nostalgia show, but it's also comparing, you know, looking back at the 80s and comparing it to today and how things are different and how things are similar. So it's sort of half a nostalgia show and half looking at today and the comparisons in between. And yeah, it does. I mean, sort of when you do sort of episodes like this and you're looking at these guys and they're 65 and you're realizing, fuck, you know, myself, I used to be that certain age in the 80s and now I'm in my 40s, you know. It's incredible and how much you've grown and, you know, but the thing about music is it connects you to every other moment in your life previously. Like you hear songs like this, you hear songs like Eat It, and you remember being a little kid when it came on TV, pissing yourself laughing and thinking it was awesome, you know?
Yeah, that's right. It's music has a subconscious medium that takes you back to your family home, or it might take you back to a park you played at, or your grandmother and your grandfather. And a lot of those people have gone, you know? And it's just
Yeah, that's right.
Somehow we connect with these people through music and some great memories. And it can be really emotional as well, and it can be really funny and emotional. And music's a very powerful thing. So, yeah, in saying that, it's great to get nostalgic, but having a look at where the industry is today is also a bit different. as well. This next artist is 65 in May, and he's one we haven't played before ever, and I just thought we would play him tonight. Here we go.
Christmas Eve, disappointed and I don't know why. You gave me laughter and hope and a sock in the eye. In my young life, and I know something now, I've never tried to create a wow. Wows of you, frustration will come and I can feel my soul. That's what gets me come. Your mouth, your love is better than wine, but wine is all I have. Will your love ever be mine? Faces fall before my feet.
Stephen Tin Tin Duffy.
Yeah, isn't it funny? I saw this on the list and I'm like, Stephen Duffy. Who the fuck is Stephen Duffy? But as soon as you play the opening of that song, I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, of course. But you're right, we have never played this song on the show.
No. He's 65 in May the 30th, so he's a Taurian. And he was originally going to be the front man for Duran. So this is why we knew so much about him, because when he released this single, we went back into the past and he was going to be the lead singer of Duran and the bass player way before John Taylor was the bass player and Simon Le Bon was the lead singer. So that's how I've always remembered him. But it was one of those songs, Kiss Me With Your Mind. Like, he was a weirdo.
Yeah.
And I loved that.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's a bit Homo sapien, Pete Shelley, and I kind of loved that. I loved the Strange Cats. And another thing is I loved the whole, it's quite brave to say, kiss me with your mouth. That the kiss thing hadn't sort of come in. That, like, you know, like then after that there were a whole lot of songs like Pash by Kate Sobrano and stuff like that hadn't really I don't know, no one had really written a song about kissing, I don't think. You know, it was kind of risque almost.
Titling it so directly
like
that.
Here it
I know
is,
what you're
the
saying.
arrow's here.
Yeah, that's right. Do you know sort of much about him moving on from Duran and sort of being replaced, like him sort of leaving the band?
I just think they didn't get along, and then he was offered his own single and he went with that.
Yeah, right.
And then good old Simon came along. But I don't think there's I don't know, I could be wrong. I don't know if there's any bad blood, but sort of he only had this really one single and then that was it, you know.
Imagine that, mate. Like bloody you're a singer and you leave a band that becomes one of the biggest bands in the world. Fucking hell.
That happens to a lot of people. It really does. Yeah, really does. You'd be very surprised. That would be hard. Yeah, but, you know, like I was asked to join Beyond Again when I was 19. I'd be fucking rich.
Yeah, right.
Rich. You know, and Beyond Again, you might think, oh, it's a fucking cover band. Those cats had a single in England with Flashdance What a Feeling that went number one in England. Like they're not, they made a lot of money. Not that song was theirs, but they had so much exposure. And now it's of course it's a brand. And I know a friend of mine got asked to join Crowded House as a keyboard player. And he said no because he was with, who was he playing with? Stephen, Gymnasium guy. Oh, Gymnasium, you go in, you go out. Stephen Cummings. He was working with Stephen Cummings. He's on all Stephen Cummings stuff. And he's a friend of mine that I used to do jingles with. And then they asked him to join Crowded House and he didn't like it. And he went, yeah, it's not really for me. And now then they turned out to be the biggest thing in the world. You know,
Bloody,
car crashes.
Yeah. Was it James Freud that was also asked to join Crowded House? And he sort of turned that down because he couldn't imagine himself sort of within that band and then they were massive.
That rings a bell. I'm not sure though, babe. I'm not sure, honey.
Yeah.
If James was asked, I mean, James did Kylie and he did do anything really, you know.
Yeah.
If he needed the money and he was amazing with the models. I think when the bands came back in from the 80s.
Crowded House. Can't remember if it was Crowded House or Midnight Oil, but I know that James did turn down.
Yeah, right. Do you know what?
Some band, but
I can see him doing Midnight Oil more than Crowded House because he's more rock and roll.
Yeah. That's
and
right.
And the Kiwis, they had everyone there anyway. They just needed a keyboard player, I think, because the Split Ends guy didn't want to do it. Who's an amazing keyboard player, but yeah, very interesting. It can happen. It's probably another show as well, you know.
Yeah.
All right, this guy, this next one is also 65 in November.
Very obscure.
Here we go.
What my heart yearns for now, love and pride. That's what my heart yearns for now, love and pride. Start your journey early or maybe later. Look for rainbows. Take your hair dry, blow them all away. In you I find a story I want to keep hearing. In you I see your colors, not just black or white. In you I find a reason, hope for all dreamers. You are my pretty mouse of now. Of love and pride, that's what my heart yearns for now. Love and pride, that's what my heart yearns for now. Love and pride.
Love and Pride by King.
Fuck yeah.
We've never
so this
played
guy
this.
bloody what? No, we have never played this. This is very obscure. So our lead singer is Paul King. You know, famous for his beautiful black mullets.
Yes, he did. He had a great head of hair.
Yeah. And he used to sort of have the mullet haircut, and he used to spray paint his Doc Martens.
Yes. He reminded me a bit of Cyndi Lauper, this dude. A male version of Cyndi Lauper, but he just wasn't going to get
He reminds me
there.
of Matt Mavis.
Right. Well,
To look
same
at,
sort of
like
basket.
Matt back in the kind of
Same basket.
like back in the Mavises in the sort of at the very beginning of their career, sort of still in Ballarat, like all that old imagery, you know?
Yeah. I loved the song. I thought the song was great. I thought the video clip was amazing. Yeah, the spray paint was all over the place, like that spattered, that kind of stuff. Didn't do much after this, obviously, but you know, I just want to say he's 65, you know, and the thing is, these are the young ones, to be honest with you. I have to say these are the young ones because, like, we had Cindy out here last week or the week before and she's 71, so there's older than this. But the 65-year-olds I just thought would be great as a subject because you just don't expect people to grow up. You go, what? You know? And you haven't heard this song for 65 years. Yeah, so good old King, Paul King. I love the track. I think it's great. And not many people would be playing this song anywhere in the world unless they were an exclusive, like Electric Dreams or something in England or something.
This was released in April of '84 and didn't do very sort of well at first. It sort of it just sort of stagnated. And then they played it on like a morning TV show and it really exploded and actually went to number 2 and was in February of '85 and was actually stopped. The only song that stopped it from going to number 1 was I Know Him So Well, that duet from Chess.
Yeah. Yep. That song stopped a lot of songs from going somewhere.
Yeah, it was on. It was very popular. It was on there for a long time. Back when songs from musicals used to chart, and I think that's a really good subject as well. Like songs from musicals that that had chart success.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
doesn't happen a lot anymore. It might have happened with Defying Gravity with Wicked, I think. Not as a stage show, but the film. You know what I mean? Because Wicked's been floating around for 15 years or so at least.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, this used to happen. You know, they used to sort of release the original cast recording from stage shows and release those, and they would do really well. So maybe that's something we could look at as well, like for the musical buffs.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's right. Now, King is also a Scorpio. He's got a Scorpio vibe, definitely. He looks like a Scorpio.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He does.
I liked him. I thought he was cute. Now, the next couple, there's 2 girls together here. So this is 2 girls that one are turning 65 this year and then one's already 65. And I wanted to do the single, which isn't an 80s single, but it's a single they did together because it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. And here it is.
Im Sturz durch Raum und Zeit, Richtung Unendlichkeit. Fliegen Motten in das Licht, genau wie du und ich. Wrap your fingers around my neck, you don't speak my dialect, but our images reflect. Drawn together by the flame, we are just the same. Embrace the wind and fall into another time and space. Gib mir die Hand, ich bau dir ein Schloss aus Sand. Irgendwie, irgendwo, irgendwann. If we belong to each other, we belong any place, anywhere, anytime. Im Sturz durch Zeit und Raum, erwacht aus einem Traum.
Woo!
There we go. This song's got an incredible history, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, it's very Eurovision sounding, but it's very both of them, you know? Because we're looking at NENA.
Yeah, that's right.
From the band NENA, German singer, who's one of my favourite, who is spanking at her age, by the way. I'm just going to put it out there. And also Kim Wilde.
Yeah, so this is a version that they released where it was both German and English
Yes.
lyrics. NENA, they released it a couple of times. This is originally sort of a NENA track that was released in '84 called Irgendwie, Irgendwo, Irgendwann, which is German for anyhow, anywhere, anytime.
Lovely.
And so like it had huge success in Europe back in '84, and then when they did the sort of combined English-German lyrics, she brought on Kim Wilde, and it was a huge success again. But that wasn't until I think 2002.
Yeah, it's an old one, but the thing is, they're still working. You know what I mean? Like you're looking at these women
that's
that are
right.
65. Kim's still out there. NENA is still huge everywhere, especially in Germany. I've got NENA live in concert and it's one of the best concerts I've ever seen. And even though you can't understand it, it's still incredible and they're really good friends. So NENA has she makes leather products and all the gear in the video she made for Kim and herself, and it's very I've heard this from Kim.
Oh, wow.
And Kimmy loves NENA. They get along really well. You've got a Scorpio in Kim Wilde, born the 18th of November 1960, and an Aries on the 24th of March 1960 with NENA. So interesting combination, you know, and I think NENA would have pushed Kim along a bit. Like Kim would have been I'm not going to say. I think some years Kimmy might have thought she was just a bit had it. You know what I mean? Like no one was going to sort of care.
Right.
And I think what NENA would have done is gone, bitch, just get out there. Who cares? You know, like I think NENA's quite strong in that respect. Where Kim's such a darling. You know, you'd want to piss off Kim more than NENA. Put it that way.
Kim Wilde was such a phenomenal beauty in the 80s as a young woman. And I think it's very difficult growing into the next sort of stages of your life and wondering, especially as an artist and wondering sort of how you change your career to sort of follow suit with that. You know what I mean?
Well, she was a gardener.
And it's something that's it's something that's always really interested me, and I thought I'd ask you.
Oh,
like,
thanks for that.
No. But wait for the question though. Hang on before you get fucking.
How does it feel being an old mole, Sammy?
No, it's not that. It's not that at all. You stupid
I love it.
bitch.
I love it.
Is like the reason why you used to perform when you were young. Is it the same reason why you perform now? Like what you used to get from performing when you were young, is that the same as what you get out of performing now? Like are you kind of chasing the same buzz? Is it different? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. On so many different levels. Like firstly, when you first start singing, you're in training. And you've got your stars. Your head's in the stars. You're going to be famous. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. Didn't matter what they paid you. They could have paid you 30 cents. You were ready to go out and rock. As you get older, you start to understand it may never happen, and you need to start making financial rewards from this thing. But you know what? In saying that, it doesn't just go from one to the other. It happens all through your career. So you might get to 25 and go, you know, I've still got time. I'm going to put out this song. And then you put out a song and the industry's changed. No one cares. And then you go, well, am I going to blame myself for that? I really can't. Just go back to covers, you know. And it can be, I think, but the thing is, honey, it's different for me because I've never been commercially famous. Kim has. And I think Kim... you've never stopped working though, babe. I know, but
like, this is your greatest triumph is that like people can fucking say whatever they want. You are still out there with the machine is still fucking powering along. You know what I mean?
It is, but I don't think I wanted it bad enough. You got to understand that some of these people really want it bad. I find my life important with my friends and having a drink and a laugh and a sing and making a bit of money, you know. I'm not I didn't want to leave anyone behind. I know that sounds shit, especially my parents and my family. I could never do what you did and move to Brisbane and leave my family in Cairns or Melbourne. I just couldn't do. I didn't have the balls, or I would have been in England and America. And I was cool about it because it just wasn't this lifetime for me, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But as a woman, I think with Kim being such a beautiful and a great singer and a great songwriter and an artist, she went into gardening for a while and I think she was really happy there as well. So you don't know with people. You know, I'd be happy to be a gardener on TV and showing someone a fucking tomato. Like, it'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you get fucking $1 million a year to show someone a tomato? Fuck that. I'll do that.
There's my cucumbers. They turned out all right, didn't they? I just come out here and talk to them every
Do you
night.
know Kate Jenko's got her own cooking show on Instagram and fuck, it makes me laugh.
Has she really?
Yeah, she does a bad shit
Oh
one.
my
She does
God.
what you've got in the fridge, just chuck it in. So the other day she and I actually commented on it and she wrote me back. And she went, just get your avocado and squeeze it like a lemon. And she squeezed the avocado and it fucking fell on the ground. She picked it up and went, 10 seconds and ate it. And it's just all wrong. But she's got a child now, so she's got to be a mum and make these meals.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I love people that are just happy where they are at this stage and time, you know?
Yeah, that's
And I
right.
think that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
this
yeah.
song's
That's a very
about.
good point.
I think that's
Yeah.
what this song's about. It's like they're two mates, anytime, anywhere, whatever it is. And
Yeah.
yeah, I really like the song, and it was very Eurovision, but
brilliant.
very NENA. NENA's got some amazing
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah, she really does.
Yeah, but that was a good question. I love that question. And now we're going to do. Now we haven't done much of this guy either. I think this song's a ripper track. Here we go.
She says her love for me could never die. That'd change if she ever found out about you and I. Oh, but her love is cold. Wouldn't hurt her if she didn't know. 'Cause when it gets too much, I need to feel your touch. I'm gonna run to you. I'm gonna run to you. 'Cause when the feeling's right, I'm gonna run all night. I'm gonna run to you. She's got a heart of gold. She never let me down. But you're the one that always turns me on. You keep me coming around. I know love is true, but it's so damn easy making love to you. I got my mind made up. I need to feel your touch. I'm gonna run to you. Yeah, I'm gonna run to you. 'Cause when the feeling's right, I'm gonna stay all night. I'm gonna run to you. Yeah, I'm gonna run to you.
Old mate Bryan Adams from Canada.
November the 5th. So he's 65 already. He'll be 66 this year. This poor cunt looked 65 in the 80s, you know.
He
I
did.
just thought he looked old.
And because he's got really, really bad pock
Bad
marks on
skin.
his face and neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poor prick. I actually find pock marks on a man attractive. I know that's fucking ridiculous.
No, I think you're right, but not when they sing Summer of 69. Fucking finishes there.
Yeah, right.
I
You
don't
don't want
mind
to
a
get
pot
a
mark.
69er off somebody with
Did I
acne.
date a guy
Yeah,
with pot
yeah.
marks? Have you dated a guy with pot marks?
I've pashed a guy with pock marks.
Depends how dirty
Last
they
night.
are. Oh, last night.
Yeah, right.
It depends how dirty they are. But see, even Seal, Seal had that big scar on his face. I would have gone there.
Oh,
somewhere
yeah,
to
for
rest,
sure. But I
I think it makes the face.
This is why I like pock marks. Acne, like if you've had really bad acne, it just like you have to learn to be humble. You know what I mean? There's no one with acne is feeling $1 million. Like it's one of those
True.
things that constantly makes you humble, like having bad
Yeah.
skin like that. And
Yeah.
I just think they've had as kids when they're like so fucking self-conscious, they've had this massive big lesson in humility. And often they're very grounded, humble people. That's my theory anyway.
And they have to work harder to get a root. So that's what's happened
That's
here.
right. That's right. They don't rely on
They
their
don't.
looks. They might have looks sort of subsequently, but they don't sort of rely on their looks. This guy, I saw him. I was sort of like looking up just then because I thought like, oh yeah, last time he came to Australia, I went and saw him. He actually toured in February through Australia and New Zealand. I didn't even know about that, but I saw him in 2019 at Rod Laver. He was fucking phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. He's one of the best musicians in the world. This is the thing.
Yeah.
So his pot marks have done good, you know.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'm not a fan of his music, but this song is sex. It's fantastic. This
Yeah.
is the song he wrote after he had a root, and it really works. He's also a Scorpio, so another Scorpio. I've got a few Scorpios in here. They really are intense human beings, Scorpios, but they're also resilient. And they might come across as a little bit insecure, but they're all ready to sting you with their fucking tail when they get close enough, you know. You've got to be really careful with Scorpios. They can surprise you, you know, and they're the best people in the world, I think.
Now, here's one for you. He's written this song, I guess the topic of this song is about he'll always run to his mistress over his partner. Like
Yes.
all the mistress has got to do is kind of beckon him and he'll always run to them.
Yeah.
This is a possible subject matter as well. Songs about cheating.
Oh, yes, it sure is. It's very good.
Very controversial.
Very good.
Very controversial.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
We've got a few shows up our sleeves tonight. I'd love to do a song about cheating.
Yeah, because there were a lot of songs about cheating in the 80s.
Well, people cheat, you know. Sorry, cunts,
They do cheat, but
it's not
they
all
do
fucking
cheat, but I
bells
think
and whistles.
It's very honest to kind of sing a
Be a
song
cheater.
about being a cheater and, you know, being
Yeah.
a bit of a dog. But what I love about it though is like people, as you say, people cheat and
Like
I
dogs
know
eat
it's
their
wrong.
own balls.
that's
People
right. I
cheat
know
like dogs
I-
lick their own balls.
Yeah, and some humans,
Yes.
but who are very flexible. but it's the most those people do it because it's the most thrilling fucking fantasy. You know what I mean? And this is what makes it such good sort of matter for songs. Is it's like a cheap thrill. You know what I mean?
And you don't even have to cheat.
and-
You don't even have
Yeah,
to
that's
cheat.
right.
Like I've never cheated, yet this song
Mm.
excites me because it's a part of me that goes, fuck, imagine if I did root that guy while I was with that person.
Yeah.
Like I'm really
Yeah.
honest and I don't cheat. Like even
Yeah.
an emotional thing, I'd just cut off at the tail, you know, like fuck off, see you later. But
yeah.
I don't reckon Bryan Adams probably would have cheated at all. I think this is just what music does. And being a Scorpio, it's a fucking perfect subject. You talk
Yeah.
about stuff that your subconscious medium or your subconscious wants to talk about, and then he's probably going to write a fucking song about, I don't know, some chick he's in love with, and then it's just taken this turn, and he's gone, no, this is a better idea. People are going to dig this.
Yeah, that's
you know?
right. Well, he actually wrote this for Blue Oyster Cult and they turned it down.
Wow.
And so this was, he offered it to another band and they turned it down as well. And so then this became the very last song onto the Reckless album because it was like, oh, fuck, this is a really good track. We still want to use it, and they kind of like added it last minute to this album. But this is the album. Reckless is the album cover that's got that really kind of film noir lighting across his eyes.
Yeah.
And the darkened bottom half.
Is there
of
raindrops
his face,
on
so
his
you don't see
face?
No, I was going to say you don't see the bottom
Yeah.
half of his face because
Yeah.
of the pock marks.
Yeah, that's right. look, I think in the 90s, everyone was obsessed in catching people out cheating. I couldn't give a fucking root if anyone cheated. You want to move on, fucking move on. This is the reason why I'd never get married, because it's easy to get out of. You know, and it sounds ridiculous, but astrologically I've got a Taurian, a Saturn in Taurus in the 7th house, which is all about relationships. So the Saturn just stops me from going one way or the other, you know. But
Yeah.
I still find it, I think people nowadays, like especially when they're over 50, second marriage, they're just so excited, and then it turns into this excitement, into this fear of them cheating on them. It's like, just fucking let them go, man. Why would you waste your...
Yeah.
I think we gain a certain amount of respect for ourselves where that shit doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly sort of, it really does force a relationship to mature. It makes or breaks a relationship, and counsellors will say it's either the end of the beginning or the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Like you'll split up, or it will begin like a new stage of that relationship
Yeah.
where you have just a more mature understanding of each other, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're not meant to stay with one person. I know this sounds horrible, but that's why there's people that have had 2 or 3, 4, 5 partners. I mean, it's fantastic on paper to be able to. And I mean, my parents have been married now for 57 years, and that is just unbelievable. And they've been solid.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I just think with the social media and all this stuff, the bells and whistles that are around, it's very hard to be like that anymore, you know? It's a lot of
I
stuff
just think like
going on.
as a person, you're meant to fall in love over and over and over again, and you're meant to kind of experience the thrill of that, and you're meant to kind of have crushes that you can't stop thinking about. You know what I mean? As like.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't you stagnate? I don't know. Don't you stagnate? Doesn't your libido switch off eventually? I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
but
it's
that's
a
right.
bigger
Well,
question,
my
isn't it?
first breakup was over another dude that I didn't do anything with, but he was the catalyst, you know. There's always a catalyst.
Right.
And if you really look
yeah.
at it, you go, maybe I'm not so happy and I should really see what else is out there. And then, yeah, there's always a catalyst, and then you may start over again and that loving someone, but then the pain comes with it as well. It's such a fucking hassle. Oh, is he
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
ring? Is he
exactly.
going to do? It's just like, so that's why a lot of people settle, because you don't want to go out there and go, oh, I wonder if he's going to call and feel like you're 10 again, you know?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But some people
exactly.
love that. Some people love being 50-something and acting like they're 25, you know? They love it.
God,
But
yeah.
God, Bryan Adams, there you go. Another Scorpio. Great Scorpio song. Great idea for a show. Now we're going to play your ad that you suggested, honey, which is fantastic. Here we go. This is our TV ad.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Have a Crunchie.
Oh, Cadbury Crunchie.
Cadbury Crunchie. A blend of crisp, light, crunchy honeycomb covered in delicious Cadbury dairy milk chocolate. Cadbury Crunchie. It'll change the colour of your day.
Change the color of your day.
Cadbury Crunchie.
Crunchy.
Now, Crunchies. Crunchies were very 80s, and Crunchies was sort of like a direct competitor for Violet Crumble, remember?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I looked it up and they weren't. Yeah, no, they were English, I think, by Nestle. Was that right? No, or Cadbury,
Yeah,
Cadbury.
possibly.
Crunchy Cadbury, Crunchy, yeah, Cadbury.
Yeah, right.
So, but we did have the Violet Crumble, which was around since 1913, which is an Australian product.
Oh, shit, is that right?
Yeah,
So Violet
yeah.
Crumble's Australian and Crunchy's
yes,
British. Is that what
that's
you're saying?
right. Yeah.
fuck
So,
But they were different, weren't they? Crunchies are sort of bigger bubbles and stuff.
Yeah.
And violet crumbles were like very firm,
Yes.
like old school honeycomb.
Yeah. They were brought up by Nestle eventually, but it was I don't know if you remember getting a violet crumble show bag at the show, and it was
Yes.
called they were brought by Roundtree's and Hoadley's Chocolate. So a couple of companies brought into them, and then eventually it became Nestle. But they tried to ban or to keep violet crumbles out of the system, and then they started doing the bags of them with the little bits in them.
They did.
And that's
Yep.
when they became really popular again. So, but what do you prefer,
bite-sized ones.
Crunchy or violet crumble? What do you prefer?
I find violet crumbles really hurt my teeth. I think crunchies are easier to eat because they're bigger bubbles. They're not as firm. So
Yeah,
I've
right.
thought about this.
Yeah, well, I love both. I'm trying to buy Australian at the moment with everything, just with the way the world's going.
Oh, that's good. Good on you,
So
mate.
I would probably buy a violet crumble now over a crunchy because they're Aussie, you know? But
Talking about Aussies and buying Australian and what's happening with the world, did you see what happened at the dawn service this morning?
I know. Absolutely fucking stupid.
Absolutely appalling.
Yeah.
So some
Yeah.
if you don't know, some loser at the dawn service when they were doing the Welcome to Country started booing it from the crowd.
Neo-Nazi.
Yeah, he ended up being a neo-Nazi. So
That's right.
like the you know the Nazis who the Anzacs fought in the fucking war.
Yeah.
Here is this prick.
Yeah, dumb shit.
You know, here is this prick at this fucking memorial, like just crazy. And then like hours later, some idiot did it in Perth as well. And I just think it's kind of like reactive from Trump and all that, the
Of
kind
course,
of repealing of
course.
like all the kind of progressive ideals
Yeah.
and everything, you know.
Yeah.
Because fuckwits were emboldened. I was at the footy tonight, and there were the 2 rows back. There were these fucking Essendon supporters that were mouthing off the whole way through, drunk as fucking skunks, ugly as sin. And one of them yelled out at one stage, "Fuck the Welcome to Country." And I just fucking looked back. I wanted to kill him. And Mika and Costa were just like, let it go. He's just drunk. He's just a fucking loser. And then like Collingwood fucking thumped him up by 30 points or whatever it was by the end of the fourth quarter. And I just kept looking back, like clapping and looking at him like, quiet now, aren't you, you fucking assholes.
Yeah, that's right. Essendon supporters are always weird.
Yeah, they are.
They're a bit weird. They're always redheads. Any redheads there? Oh no, they mainly
There was
Hawthorn.
There was a beautiful redhead in front of me, actually. A mum with her 3 daughters.
Essendon?
And they were mixed. They were sort of Collingwood and Essendon. Yeah. And we were mixed in our crowd as well. We had a couple of Essendon supporters in our crowd as well.
Yeah.
And which I found very conflicting because I hated these guys 2 rows back.
Yeah.
I was really sledging
course.
Essendon, and I'm like going, fuck you scum, and all of this. And then I'm like, oh, sorry guys,
Yeah.
to my mates in our group. But mate, I was getting so fucking heated. I can't stand that shit. It's like think whatever you like, have whatever views you want.
Don't say it.
But don't be yelling out fucking fuck the Welcome to Country. I know we're in a free state and all of that shit, and you should be able to say whatever you like. But that's just dumb shit territory. That's just bullshit, you know?
Yeah, look, it's mate, Trump's only getting worse. Dumb shits follow it.
yeah.
They think it's great. They watch
Yeah.
Sky News.
That's
Fucking
it.
everyone's great. It's like, no, they're not, man. They're not. They've got no manners. There's no manners.
Yeah.
And the most amazing people fucking think Trump's great. And you're thinking, how?
Yeah.
How do you think
Yeah.
it's great? Like, he's racist.
look-
He's fucking obnoxious.
Yeah.
He's a fucking
Yeah.
full-on narcissistic cunt, you know? Let's not hold back.
I mean, he is shaking things up, but
Yeah,
he
fucking
doesn't
doing what
have
though?
to be the He doesn't have to be the most obnoxious, hateful fucking person in the process. You know what I mean? It'd be wonderful if like he was articulate or progressive or enlightened. I think he's cunning. I think he's very smart in a cunning way, like in a business sense, very smart in a cunning way.
Yeah, but
I
he's
think he's a
never
shit of a
been.
person.
He's never been rich. You know what I mean? Like it's all family money.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
that's right.
he's never going to stop that war with Russia because he's in bed with Russia, and he just basically said to the poor guy, the Ukrainian guy, just give away your country. That's what you're going to have to do to stop the war. They didn't fucking start it. You know what I mean?
He's
he's gaslighting.
He was literally
gaslighting.
like, give us all the rights to give us all your mineral rights as a country, and I'll make a phone call and call off Putin like fucking
like a hero.
ridiculous.
I think I could fucking make that phone call. Anyone could fucking make that phone call. He's not that great, you know, but I think the guy, you know, it's just so stupid at the moment, and everyone's watching this goon run this like he wants, you know, like, and then he talks about his dry cleaning bill. Like fucking hell, man. You know, and that's an example, but I've tuned out now, but I do hear things every now and then, and I did hear the whole "we'll stop the war if, you know, you've started this war." It's typical narcissistic 101 that just fuck every family function on you. Like they just always do shit like that. Like they've got things they do. But yeah. Oh,
He's like a mobster. He reminds me of. He's got the mentality of a kind of like a mafioso, like a mobster. You know what I mean? Like a fucking bully.
Yeah,
except he's got that kind of mentality.
He listens
you know?
to the village people. Let's look at the next one. Well, there's a couple in this one, I think. No, maybe not. Here we go. There's only one.
Show me what is there, show me what isn't. A heart too slow. That's how we know. That's how we know you're white. The blood flow. Your white stands like an enemy. Your white stands like an enemy. Your white stands like an enemy. You're so
We're looking at Mikey Craig, bass player for Culture Club,
who was an Aquarian as well. I
yeah,
think.
15th of Feb.
15th of
Yep.
Feb, which is when my darling sister-in-law Michelle, who listens to the show, that's her birthday as well.
Yes.
Hi, Michelle.
I love Aquarians around that date. I love all Aquarians, really. Mikey Craig, bass player extraordinaire. I love his playing. Now, you got to remember, a lot of these musos are still doing the same bands. You know, we're seeing Culture Club, we're seeing NENA, we're seeing Kim Wilde, we're seeing Bryan Adams, Stephen Duffy. Don't know where he would be. King, I'm sure he does the occasional gig. But I looked at the members of Culture Club, and Mikey is the only one that's 65 in this year. Georgie was 63. And John Moss was 67.
I don't know. You might know. Is Mikey gay?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
I could never tell. I mean, he's sort of. He could be
Against Boy George.
You know what I mean? Like.
He's so
sort
gay.
of looking at him and
Yeah.
just looking at him and how he used to dress back in the day, and like he used to wear a lot of midriffs and sort of sleeveless stuff. I mean, he's wearing that next to a guy with kind of basically drag makeup on, but I know that. But you know what I'm saying? He could be sort of camp, beautiful looking as a younger man.
Look, I don't know him personally, so I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's married. But I'm sure the gay mafia, my mates, would know. But the thing is, with that he had the best body though, babe. Mikey Craig had the best body, so you have to put the body into the high cut tops and the muscle stuff because
of course
the girls want to see, and he was beautiful, Mikey Craig, and he used to look like a koala. I don't know why I used to think he looked like a koala. It was his nose or something, and I just thought, oh my God,
it's his mouth.
Yeah,
I think it's his mouth.
I know. I just was thinking, oh my God, he looks like a koala. But Mikey Craig, great bass player. Now you're looking at a stage where I've got another great bass player coming up. The musicians were, they were how old in the 80s? 25, did we work out, or in 1980? 25?
Yeah, these guys in 1980 they would have been 20. In 85 they would have been 25.
Yeah. So you've got to remember the training they've done on these instruments would have started in the 70s,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And this is the difference with kids that in the 70s, they went out and lived a dream. They didn't get on Facebook or fucking whatever and went, I'm just going to come famous. You had to work to be famous. Now,
that's right.
You can get on Instagram and show a left tit and then you go viral. It's a different world, and I kind of hate that. I think it's really creatively fucked the arts,
Yeah.
But you've got to
Now, did you go and
pivot.
see Culture Club when they toured here in 84?
No, honey. I wasn't a huge fan of Culture Club.
Oh, yeah, right.
I was more
Okay,
Duran
cool.
Duran. You had to be one or the other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Then when we grew up,
Okay.
we mixed. I didn't appreciate Culture Club as much. And just in 84, I was 14. I was into female vocals and Duran Duran.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But had a lot of friends that went, But yeah, he would have been 25.
They must have been big here in 84. I mean, yeah, they would have. They were big everywhere. They played two when they toured here in 84. They did 2 gigs at Festival Hall in Brisbane, which I used to go to a lot.
Yep.
They played the Entertainment Centre here in Melbourne at Olympic Park. They did 3 nights here. And then in Sydney at the Entertainment Centre in Haymarket, the old one, they did another 2 nights. And literally, back to back, like bang, 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 with a day's travel in between the cities.
Yeah,
so,
they well, Countdown were the ones that I think they're one of the bands that was kind of big here before it went everywhere else. Like,
okay,
we really opened up the market for them, because when they came to Adelaide, they had to close down the whole of Rundle Park, or Rundle Mall, I mean.
Yeah.
Rundle Mall, Rundle Mall.
Rundle Mall.
So they
did a weird sort of tour here in 2016. I'm looking at the Oz Tour database, which like has all tour dates and what they played, set lists and that kind of shit. They did a tour. I mean, they were here not so long ago. They were here in 2023.
I don't know if that gig happened. I think it was cancelled.
Yeah, no, they did it.
Did they?
I know they did because Mika's mum went.
Oh, great. There was one they were doing with Bonnie Tyler, Culture Club, or was it Boy George? and I don't think that got off the ground. Might be wrong though.
Yeah, right.
Was that the one
Yeah.
they did with the village people as a support?
I don't think so.
2016? or
No.
whatever?
No, not sure. They did, yeah, they did one in 2016. I don't know who toured with them, but it was weird. They did sort of weird. They did like the River Stage in Brisbane. They did Jupiter's on the Gold Coast. They did.
Yeah.
They played Duran Entertainment Centre in Hobart. They played like a winery in South Australia. They played some sort of different. Oh, they did Sydney Mime Music Bowl here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been good. That would have been a great.
Oh,
gig.
and this is
So
the
there we go.
thing. I mean, the bands haven't changed, but ticket sales have. So the promoters
Yeah,
aren't
that's
going to
it.
take
Exactly.
that risk anymore where they can put them in huge situations because you've got to sell the tickets and the ticket climate isn't great at the moment. And it hasn't been for the last 2 years. It's after we got over COVID and we could all stay home again and go out and stay home again. People just weren't buying tickets. It's really important to buy tickets if you know you're going to go to a gig because the artists just can't fly from overseas and hope to God there's going to be people there. They've got a million fucking airfares and it's going to cost money, you know. But Mikey Craig, I loved him. I thought he was great. Now this next band we've got has about 3 or 4 members. And here we go. Guess this one. Ballet. There's about 4
There we
members
go. We
in this
love
list.
Spandau.
We do. I was going to pick
Yeah.
our favourite song, but then I thought, oh no, we've already played it.
That's it.
What's that bloody song? Paint Me Down. Paint me down, paint me down. What a great song. It's going to play that
Yeah,
again. I
fantastic.
thought, we'll just do this one. Steve Norman was the one I had in mind. He was the saxophone percussionist. Gorgeous little short man. 25th of
Yeah.
March. He's an Aries, Steve Norman.
Yeah.
But we've also got Tony Hadley. He's a Gemini, 2nd of June. 64, he turned 65 this year. And we also have Gary Camp, and he is 65 this year, 16th of October. He was born in 1959. And John Keeble, who was the drummer, 6th of July 1959. He's 65 this year as well. So they're all pretty much the same age except for the younger brother, Martin Kemp. He was the only one that was underneath the ages, which makes sense because Gary was the older brother.
Yeah.
And we love
exactly.
it. Steve Norman
That
was
was
a
a huge
hottie.
moment for me. That was a huge moment for me going to Covent Garden in London and visiting the Blitz nightclub where famously the Blitz kids started, and Spandau Ballet played their very first gig.
That's it.
And the only way that you would know that you were standing in front of the former Blitz nightclub because they've turned it into some other bar and they were renovating while I was there. But the only way that you would know that it was the Blitz nightclub is they've got this little plaque up on the wall saying famously that Spandau Ballet played their first gig there.
Yeah.
I think in 1979. I think in 79.
Probably.
I'm not sure.
It probably was because sorry guys, keeping you up. I think they've done a lot for their age because 65 is still sort of young for musicians that have been around for as long as they have.
Yeah, 19, 20. They would have been 19 or 20 in those years.
Yeah,
so,
and that's great because they've known what they want to do. They've given their life to music, and it's still the thing, you know. So all four of them. So they would have been the same age. And Martin would have been the baby, and it would have been, and I guess, I mean, even if I look at our cover band, we're all different ages. It's really rare.
Yeah, we are.
It's really rare to find.
Yeah.
That's what kids were doing back then. You could find kids your own age that had the same dream, and then you were mates, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Nowadays, it's a lot harder because people give up or they just want to do something that's easy, you know. Some people don't. But, yeah. So, there you go. That was four members of Spandau Ballet turned 65 are already 65 or they're turning 65 this year. We've got the next band now, which is one of our favourites. Here we go.
Mistake. There's a fine line drawing my senses together, and I think it's about to break. If I listen close, I can hear them singers. Voices in your body coming through on the radio. The union of the snake.
Duran. Hey, here's another episode.
Huge.
Videos that were shot in Australia.
I knew you were going to say that.
I love it.
As soon as this started playing.
Yeah.
As soon as this started playing, it came into my mind because I remember the album cover for Seven and the Ragged Tiger. That was taken in front of the State Library of New South Wales. Yeah. And I thought, the film clip, of course. Yeah.
Well, David Bowie did them. Beyonce, U2. And there's so many videos that have been filmed in Australia. And it's interesting because as the artists grew and they had it was easier to do a video and then go and do a gig or, you know, like it's a long way to travel in those days because, you know, the planes were probably not as fast and you had to sit on there for longer. And I just think it would be great. This was filmed in Cronulla. Is it Cronulla in
Cronulla. Yeah.
in Sydney.
And you had and especially for the British bands, you had such consistent weather in Sydney as well. You know, it was like beautiful and sunny with golden light and all of that. And it would have been a dream for a British act to come out and have that kind of light. You would have wanted to take advantage of it, you know?
That's right. And sometimes the record companies were in Australia and not so much. Like EMI was in Australia and they had a very close relationship with the Aussie EMI team because I knew Linda who worked at EMI and she's a huge Duran Duran fan or used to work at EMI. I think, and I remember seeing this video and it really struck me that one of the dolly models was the main girl in the video and I went,
Yeah.
how the fuck did a dolly model get on there? And I was
onto a
really
Duran
like,
Duran queen.
Jesus. You know what I mean? And she was gorgeous, but she was picked for the video and I think she opens a lift or gets in the lift with them and she's got like a page boy outfit on. But I love it. Now, John Taylor is born the 20th of June, 1960. He is 65 in June and he still looks great. He's hot, great player, another great bass player.
We've got a birthday today.
Tomorrow?
Well,
What's
we'll
today?
release this today.
Oh,
you know what I'm
God, you're
saying?
right, babes. Yes, you're right. Sorry. Yes. Don't take any notice.
Big birthday today, Roger Taylor.
Wow. Wonder if he
26th
wants
of
a
April.
birthday bang. We can both bang him.
So.
Yeah, he's hot.
He wants a Rogering.
He was like the wog of the band,
Yeah.
wasn't he? All the wogs loved John.
I always love Roger.
Yeah.
I
Roger,
always love
yeah.
Roger.
All the Greeks and the Italians loved Roger because he was the closest thing to an ethnic-looking band member.
Yeah, that's right. No,
and he
you're right.
just didn't wear as much makeup as the other boys and he was solid, you know. But very interesting.
He was sort of amongst all the others. He's like very, very blokey.
Very blokey. He would have got the band writer, I'm assuming. He would have been right with that, where the others wouldn't have. Oh, I can't be bothered, you know, even though the band writer was always delivered out backstage. But I love Roger because he's 64 now, so he's 65 today when this comes out.
Yeah.
And, he was just like the woggy guy in Duran Duran. He sort of – and he fit though.
And he's got a great ass.
Yeah.
Short
That's
guys
right.
have great asses.
We
Short
spoke
people
about
have
that
great
last week.
asses. Yes.
We spoke about that, didn't we, last week?
And
the
you
hot
see his
cross
ass
bums.
in the yes, that's right. You see, we should have featured him in Hot Cross Bums. He I didn't think of it, but in the Band-Aid film clip, you see him in his leathers and there's a shot of him from the back. You can tell it's Roger because he's short. And his ass sticking out. But yeah, great little pocket rocket, little banger.
Yeah, there you go. Two members of Duran Duran are 65. You just wouldn't have assumed when you were a kid looking at your Rio album going, these guys are going to be grandfathers one day. But they're also going to be still doing it. And this is the thing about musos like these bands we're looking at. It's okay to be a muso and be 65 and go out on stage because no one fucking knows at the end if you're talented.
Yeah.
You know, they really
that's
don't
right.
know. And, I mean, of course, people that are Duran Duran fans would know their age, but you don't give a shit. You're going back to your childhood and they're still putting out new records and they're doing it really successfully. A lot of acts that have been 80s bands just fluff around and don't put out anything great. Duran have put out some great stuff. And when they went into the Ordinary World part of it, that's
listen
when
to that
everyone took
today.
notice
Yeah.
again. Because they
Gotcha.
really came out
Absolutely.
as these amazing musicians. Because before then, we just thought they were models that could play. But when you hear them play, I mean, every musician in this band's incredible, you know?
Yeah. You say sort of they were models. I'm looking at this beautiful photo of them from 1983, which I think was my favourite year for Duran Duran. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that because I love it when they launched in the early years as well. But like just how accomplished their look is. It's this photo, Sammy.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah,
have
yeah.
a look. It's this photo here,
Yeah,
this beautiful
beautiful.
black and white one
Yep.
from 1983. They are fucking stunning.
Yes. Oh, well, see, I'm a Wild
Absolutely
Boys
beautiful.
fan as well. I like the arena look as well. But you got to remember,
Oh,
Russell
yeah, yeah,
Mulcahy was also their director and he was an Aussie. Also
Yeah,
had a
that's
hot
right.
ass.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
very, very good. But anyway, we got one more. One more. This is an interesting one, and it's not David Lee Roth, it's someone else.
Rockin' steady in her daddy's car. She got the stereo with the big guitars, and that's alright. Yeah. I got the itch and a restless soul. She gone with the wind, gonna go for broke tonight. Yeah. And that's alright. Girl, we've been meant for this since we were born. Since we were born. No problems now, coast is clear. It's just the code for the soul. This must be just like living in paradise. Just like paradise. And I don't wanna go home. And I don't want to go. This must be just like living in paradise. And I don't wanna go home. Dig it. Susie, girl, for crying out loud.
Steve Vai,
There you
believe it
go.
or not, we're talking about.
Speaking
I've-
of hot wogs,
Yeah, I really like this song. Love it.
Mint, I love this song.
I thought it was
we
90s.
should do this.
Yeah, we should.
No.
And it's 87. Because it was one
Yeah,
of those
gotcha.
sports videos, like when you had the sports on
Yeah.
Sunday. It was a bit like
Yeah.
Dreams by Van Halen.
Yeah, that's right.
Steve Vai co-produced this with Roth. And I
Yes.
thought Steve Vai's album I knew of when he was competing with Joe Satriani was in 1989, but it was 1990, so I didn't want to play that. And
no.
I thought, oh, you know what? Just Like Paradise is a ripper. Now, David Lee Roth's a lot older than a lot of other people. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
and,
he is,
because I thought,
yeah.
oh, maybe David Lee Roth's the same age. Nah, he's not. But Steve Vai, incredible guitarist.
So
You
if
prob- you
Steve
prob-
Vai was 25 in 1985, David Lee Roth would have been 30.
Oh, you're kidding. Yeah, that make there. Yeah. He's
Or 31 or 30. He would have been 31 in 1985. So when this came out in 87, he would have been like fucking 37.
Yeah, well, this is the thing with the 80s. Not everyone. Well,
Wow.
he's younger than Cyndi Lauper, though. You know what I mean?
The thing is, yeah,
So
that's true.
everyone-
the thing,
people came later
The thing with
sometimes,
David
you know?
Lee Roth, though, he was like a fucking party boy. He was like a fun time fucking, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, let's party. Like that was David Lee Roth,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And he was fit. Like he used to split jump all over the joint. And you
Yeah.
would have assumed because no one can split jump really. How many people in the world can fucking do that except a gymnast? So if you're watching that video and this cunt's doing a split jump, you're going to assume he's 15 years younger than you, and he's probably not. You know what I mean? You know what I
I
mean?
just remember you I'm just thinking of like I was singing fucking Let's Dance by David Bowie at the Burvale and you just sitting with your back against the drum riser and like doing a big split, like showing the audience your asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck, it was funny.
I know,
and
right?
me just looking down like going, that doesn't go with fucking,
No.
That doesn't go with this song.
No, it's like strippers
you
in
fucking
Funky Town. It
maniac.
doesn't go. But you got to do it. You got to give it a go. I love, I used to love doing that shit. Like I remember when Fab Bates and I did Madonna's Keep It Together live on stage and he flipped me over and it was amazing. I loved it. But I could never split jump. Like split jump is something that people practice.
Oh, God.
You know.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But yeah, Steve Vai, I just wanted to mention him just because we've never really played that song. And look, I actually thought that track was 90s. I just didn't know.
Yeah, no.
And I thought he was a producer. Now, this is the thing with Steve Vai. He used to work with, fucking hell, who's that loopy cunt in the 70s? Now I
Frank
can't
Zappa.
think of him. Frank Zappa, that's right.
Zappa.
So he was a Frank Zappa boy. And that's also incredible because they had incredible musicians in that band. It wasn't just all kook. It was incredible musicians. The subjects like about an enema and all that stuff, that was kooky, but they were still fucking jazz, classical, whatever they were as musos, they were incredible musos. So, of course, going from that, and I think he got picked on or someone got picked on, it might have been the record company, just didn't like the idea of him leaving Frank Zappa and them giving him a hard time, but then he had this great success on his own,
Yeah.
And a lot of bands can think that. They can think,
Frank-
where are you going to go?
Yeah. Now, back to Steve Vai for a sec. He was in Whitesnake, of course, as well. We should play a bit of Whitesnake on the show more often. And he was in a film he appeared, did some acting in a film called Crossroads with Ralph Macchio. It had sort of Joe Seneca and Jamie Gertz in it. And he was he was in the famous sort of duel scene where Steve Vai and Ralph Macchio's character are playing sort of different guitar parts and playing them in the film. Can you remember that film?
Who's Ralph Macchio?
Oh, from Karate Kid.
I don't pronounce it like that, babe.
What
Ralph,
did you say?
Isn't it Machino or something? Or
Nah, babes, Macchio.
Nah, not Macchio.
No,
Can't
it is
be.
two.
Ralph Macchio,
C's,
Macchio or Macho or something.
Two C's together in the Italian pronunciation is like a K.
I never
they
heard
don't have
anyone
a K in
into-
their alphabet.
Yeah, I don't know if it works like that with Mach. I think it was Macchio. I don't think it was Macchio. It was some
Really?
like the Wogs used to say it, Ralph Macchio or something. Macchio or something. I don't
right,
know.
okay.
Maddie will know, but so the Karate Kid basically, yeah. Was this
Karate Kid
before
anyway,
the
but-
Karate Kid or after?
Fuck. This was in 1986. What year was Karate Kid? I should fucking know. I think this came after Karate Kid. Karate Kid was 84. This was 86. Crossroads was 86.
Yeah.
He had an all right. He had
Yeah,
an
well,
all
how
right
much-
career.
Yeah, and he had an original album full of instrumentals, and he had two. He had one in 83 and then one in 2000. No, one in 1990, which was competing with the Surfing with the Alien by God, I'm running out of steam now. Joe Satriani, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah,
right.
interesting. But, yeah, they're all getting older and amazing. There we go.
There we are, 65.
Yeah.
So all of these artists sort of, who would have been absolutely firing in the mid-'80s they're turning 65 this year. Some have already turned 65. Some of them are about to, but there you go. Like some incredible artists and some incredible music that we've never played on the phone on the show before tonight. So, yeah, anything that gets us
that's
there,
right.
I reckon. I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah,
nice
well,
one,
that's right,
guys.
because, yeah, awesome. All right, well, we hope you enjoyed the show.
Hey, we're not going to do a big heap of shout outs until we're back in the band room, but I did want to do a shout out to Troy, our listener Troy, who I ran into at a venue called The Peel, which is an infamous gay bar here in Melbourne. I ran into Troy at about 4 a.m. One Saturday a couple of weeks ago, and I was sort of walking through sort of shirtless off my tits, and I heard this, "Oh, are you Jay Jovi?" And I looked around. I didn't know this person. I sort of went up and have a chat, and he's sort of yelling at me above the music. And he said, Troy said, "Oh, you know, I listened to the show. My name's Troy. I've written in heaps of times. I got a selfie with him. I sent you the selfie."
Yeah.
And he basically said, "Pass it on to Sammy. Thank her. I never knew that She Bop was about masturbating. So, you know, thank her." He really thinks there would be, you know, it would be a great idea to do the Cyndi Lauper show all throughout Melbourne and so forth. So I wish it was a bit closer for you, Troy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll do it down the track for you though.
No. We are going to book that more. I'm just going to check my stamina out. I'm not worried about anything else because it's a big thing and and I've really loved it, you know. But if I've got a million Rewind 80s gigs and then a million Cyndi gigs, it's going to be quite. I think we're going to be doing big venues. Like we might do with Cyndi probably the Palms at Crown. It would be that big.
Oh yeah, great.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or like maybe the Commercial Hotel, but it needs a stage. It needs a big area, you know.
And it needs a beautiful system too.
Yeah, that's right, because you've got to be really careful. Oh, who's
Come
that?
in here, little boy. Do you want to be on my show? Come over here. Look who's on the phone. Yeah, hop up here on the bed.
Come on.
Pop up here. Pop up here on the bed. Can you see? Look.
Hi. Are you still
What is
up?
somebody still doing awake? It's
I
very
know.
late. Do you want to say hello, Sammy? You say hello.
He's shy.
He's shy.
Sing me a song from Bluey. Have you got a song from Bluey?
Well, no, I know a song we love.
Which
Let's
one?
sing ABC. You ready?
Oh, yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F. I've got to send you this awesome. I'll see you in a second, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you in a second. Say, love you, Dad.
Hello, Dad.
Oh, my God. Cute. Cute.
So,
you, Dad.
Mika was taking him to childcare the other day, and he said, "Oh, Daddy, can you put a song on?" And he said, "What song?" And he said, "Abracadabra," which is abracadabra. He loves Abracadabra by Lady Gaga. I'll send you the footage. Mika pops it on. He's got his eyes closed, like vibing along to fucking Lady Gaga. Like he's out every Saturday night.
Wow.
You should fucking see it. It's so fucking funny, babe. I've watched it about 1 million times.
Oh my
it's so
God.
fucking funny.
The
Anyway,
car
you
was
haven't
your
seen
first.
him for a long time.
Well, the car was your first real concert experience, you know, when you were a kid.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
In your
You're
own
right.
head.
Yeah.
The back seat of the
Yeah,
car when
yeah.
because you knew your parents were driving and they weren't looking at you, so you could have this concert and they're always watching you like
Yeah,
you are.
yeah,
But you
that's
didn't
right.
think they were. So, and the car radio would be on and you'd just be camping it up the back seat. And it was something that you just did, yeah. It's interesting
Yeah.
that, well, there you go.
That's it. There we go. What a show. Good on you
Yeah.
guys. Thanks for listening. I'm not sure what we're doing next week. Probably one of the subjects that we picked tonight.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for listening. Good on you. We've got a lot of gigs coming up. We're
Tomorrow night we're in Melton if
this-
you want to come down.
we are
At the,
we are. It might be hot off
Melton
the press this
Entertainment.
episode.
Might be what?
I was going to
what?
say the episode might be hot off the press and people can
Yeah,
listen to
that's
it and
right.
come down
Yeah,
to
so don't worry
Melton.
about that one. But anyway, you've got Skyways on the 2nd of May on the Friday, and then the Commercial Hotel South Morang on the 10th of May, which is always big. And then Cindy is on the 9th of May, but that is in Gippsland, and I think there's only 80 tickets left. So come down to that if you want to have a drive, you know.
Yeah, come to Skyways if you're in the sort of Melbourne
Airport
north
area?
or west.
Yeah.
Airport
Excellent.
area. Yeah, there's still some tickets left. It will sell out. Still some tickets left. So get down to Skyways. Like we say, if you're flying Jetstar and your flight has been delayed, come down to Skyways and catch a set with us.
That's right. We will. All right, honey. Well, I'll see you tomorrow night at the gig.
See you at
And,
the gig. See you at
see
the
you at the
gig
gig.
crowd. Thank you very much. Good on you.
Good on you guys.
Now, if you love the show, guys, please get your friends involved. You know, ask them, tell them to listen to the show, send them the link. Please like, share, rate, and review. Give us 5 stars and write us a little comment in the comment section on whatever platform you listen to us on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is. You can listen to us on YouTube as well. Become a subscriber on YouTube. It's
Yes.
really great way of pushing us up the charts.
It is.
Become a subscriber on whatever platform you're listening to us on. It's a really great way of, pushing us right up the charts. We've had some really good chart success lately. And want to keep it going, and you guys can help us out. It's free to do it. Just click subscribe and become a Patreon for as little as $2 a month. For $15 a month, though, you get an extra episode every month, which we will have to do very soon.
Yes. And all the episodes for the patrons go out on the app. So when you become a Patreon, it's patreon.com/the 80s Montage Podcast. But if you Google the 80s Montage Podcast, you'll find everything you need, even gigs and stuff. And I think our gigs are coming up on the YouTube video as well. I don't know when that changes over, but stuff like that you can do on YouTube. But yeah, it's going to be a big year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very exciting. It's going to be a busy winter, so catch us on the road, guys, with Rewind 80s Band. But in the meantime, keep listening to the 80s Montage.
Yeah.
If it's music mateys,
Or cool shit from the 80s.
we're going to talk about it.
Unreal.